Loreanne, so first of all, let us know what brought you to Germany for study. You are from Ontario, and what was the idea to go to Germany to study there?
Since I was really young, I never thought of studying in Canada, really. My parents really, they said you can study wherever you want, but then I started the German school, and after being in the German school for so long, and I worked so hard at it, and I didn't want to not use what I had done every Saturday for 12 years. Going 12 years to a Saturday school and giving up your Saturdays, whereas everybody else could sleep in until 10, watch cartoons, and you're stuck in a classroom with all these other kids who are going through the same thing. And I said, well, I might as well just use it then, right? In the German school, and the German school really gave us the basics. It gave us the grammar, the way to start off sentences, and to really give us that sense of, okay, this is how German goes. But to really speak German and to be fluent and to accomplish something in the university, you have to do it on yourself. I started to watch German TV by myself, and I would watch Logo because it's the news in German, but it was also for kids, so at least I could understand the news, so I was getting two benefits, German and something about what's happening in the world today, Germany. And I made a friend there. I'd get their email address and we'd write to one another in German. Of course, when they had English exams, we would write in English and I'd help them, but we would always write to one another in German, and that helps. It's when you make connections, when you really immerse yourself in the culture, then the language comes much easier, because if it's just the grammar and just the vocabulary that you learn in school, then it's not. It's going to get you someplace and you can understand certain conversations, but to really get past a few minutes, you have to be able to talk in.
What was your experience? Were you surprised about the system, and what was really new for you, and what was just the way you have it expected?
I can't really say about how the big difference of how the university does, because I never went to a university in Canada. I only lived here, and going to university is something very different than living your childhood in this country. And the systems, I would say it's the same thing you have. You still write exams, you still have the same, you have to study. In Germany, it's not like what I've heard from my friends. They have midterms, but we don't. But then again, I'm in a different program. Then I'm not studying languages, I'm not studying biology, I'm in medicine. So we have a different program altogether, right?
Yeah, okay.
So in that sense, we have exams at the end of every semester. The system is pretty normal. You go to lectures in huge halls, and sometimes they're very, very old. In Heidelberg, they have a very pretty aula, and I always feel when I'm in one of those historical buildings that you're sitting here where other scientists, and in my case, because I like science, other scientists have said they've learned here, so you have a kind of goal. You kind of want to be like them too one day, perhaps. And but we have beautiful lecture halls. We have your seminars and your practicum, which you don't really have in Canada. Practicum is where you go to a place, like I have to do a Krankenpflege practicum, and I have to learn how to be with nurses, so that I get the viewpoint of how the nurses' lives are, and when I'm a future surgeon or when I'm a future doctor, to understand what they're going through. Otherwise, student life is like here. It's still going to parties, it's still going to the library, it's still studying, it's still finding your own food, figuring out how to get from point A to B, how do you coordinate your social life with your studying life. It's almost the same.
Did you have to decide to go to Marburg? Did you have any other choices? Or did you apply for Marburg already in Ontario?
To apply, the system, I don't know how it is today because they changed it again, how the application system is. But I applied to multiple universities, and it was the one that took me that I ended up going to. Of course, you have in Germany what you don't have in Canada. You have something called Tauschen, where you can swap your place of study easily. You can.
So let's talk about student life in Germany. You're in Marburg. Do you like that town? It's not quite the city of Germany, but do you like it there to live in Marburg?
Marburg it's a cute little town. I say it's a typical German town because we have a castle, you have the old buildings, the Fachwerkhäuser,
Yeah.
and the winding streets, and the Brüders Grimm were there, and you feel the fairy tales, and you really feel how it's an old, and when we have vacation and the students leave, you finally see the Marburger. I mean, it's nothing like studying in Frankfurt or studying in Berlin or studying in Hanover and Hamburg, where it's a huge city and you're designated to one section of the city, and that's where your campus is. But it's not like here where you have a campus life where you live on the university grounds. You live outside. I live outside of the university. It takes me good 15-20 minutes to get to the middle of the city, but it's still time to get there. And whereas here, it's your building is right next door, or you can go. I mean, Germany, I have the advantage that being in a small city, I can walk anywhere I want. But that's the thing if you go and study in Tübingen and Freiburg and Marburg and Heidelberg and Göttingen, and it's all these cute little towns where the university is the life. And then when all the students go, you see the actual people who live there. And it's a good life.
What's about housing in Marburg? Where do you live? Is
I
there a Studentenwohnheim or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I live in the Studentendorf, and I live there. I have the room for 4 years. In Canada, I know you only have it for a year. They do it like that. My room's about 11 square meters, so it's big enough for a bed and a small table and a small little sink, and that's about all I have. And you share a kitchen. I share a kitchen with 19 people, and I share one bathroom with 9, which can be difficult at times, but you get through it in the end. Otherwise, many people that I know, they have their own. Live in WGs, Wohngemeinschaften, which in Canada isn't that common, but it's where you share an apartment with multiple people. Instead of having a living room that's a bedroom, and you have a kitchen, and you share a bathroom with 5. It's typical German, so to say. And we have a lot of those in Marburg. It's less expensive to live there. However, in Germany, when you live in a student city, they up the prices because we're all students, and you have nowhere else to live. And it's hard at times to find a place to live.
And do I see the right that you have to manage all that for yourself, to get housing and to make your schedule, and that all depends on you? Or is there any institution to help students, especially foreign students, when they come to Marburg?
Many of the universities, they have AStA, and ASTA's there to support the students when the students...
AStA, that means Allgemeiner Studentenausschuss, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but they're responsible for the student things, and they're responsible for our train tickets, and really for that. For foreign students, there is a foreign office in all the universities. They're always located at a central place, and on my first day, when I registered, I was given a map of Marburg, and before I didn't have my own cell phone, so that simple map was the way I got everywhere that I needed to go.
Yeah.
We have that. I think we have a student parliament too that one can go to. And when you look for a room or something and you want it to be in that, you can within the Studenten, they have special buildings for Studentenwohnungen, and they help you find a living place, especially if you do that. Many of the universities, they have buildings that belong to the universities, like mine, Studentendorf, and so you can apply. I know Marburg, I applied online, and I got a spot living there. Other universities have the same program. You apply, they take it, and they register, and you just have to see if you got a room. If not, then it's looking for an apartment somewhere.
So Loreanne, do you have any proposals or advices for other students who are going to study in Germany? What should they do? What should they not do before they start to study?
If they're going as an international exchange to Germany, first and foremost, they should not be scared. Try and talk with the German students that are there and really engage and try, because I know a lot of them, they tend to stick with their exchange groups, and they get to see the German culture from a tourist point of view, and but for me, if I was doing exchange, it's to see it from the view of the people who live there. So they should really try and engage with the German people and get involved with the students, talk with them, meet up with other people from the faculty who know German. I mean, the Germans are willing to help because German is such a difficult language. The Germans are quite honored when they realize that somebody can speak their language after learning so much. So they'll appreciate it, and they're very helpful. And for that I would go and explore Germany. Really go and look at the big cities. Go and look at the tiny towns. There are lots of Straßen in Germany that one can go along, the Märchenstraßen, cute things, enjoyable things to look at. But for students who are going there and want to study in Germany, make sure that your German is good enough to make a conversation and continue a conversation in German. If you need help, there are multiple ways to do it. Students who come from foreign countries and they studied and they don't have any German certification, you can do a year of schooling in Germany and do extra, and they teach you the courses that you need in Germany, but simpler, and they give you kind of a German Abitur, but it belongs to the university, and then you can start your subject afterwards. The course that you need to do, I know a friend can do too. If you have the Sprachdiplom and you're pretty confident that you can make it, go ahead. A lot of the universities offer special courses before the university starts, like refresher courses, especially if when you're a first-year student, you've had maybe 3-4 months of not doing anything, and the formulas that you learned in chemistry are long forgotten, and so they offer these courses to take, and it's right before university starts, and it's really good if you just start, and it brings you back to studying and getting back into the mode of learning. Don't be afraid to ask for help. The Germans might sometimes seem cold, as one says in English a lot, and distant, but they're really not. They're just apprehensive and really curious as to what the person's going to ask. So that's what comes out, and they're really kind people, and to really ask, and many of them know English, and if anything you can speak in English. Don't be afraid of bus drivers and the trains and how the system works, and if anything doesn't come on time, you will get to your destination. They have this all planned out, so you'll get from point A to point B pretty well.
Well, Loreanne, so I think that's it. Probably anything else to say from your point of view that I forgot to ask?
No, it might seem if the kids are applying now to go to university, ask the university for that program how they want to apply. Directly ask them, and ask in English if English is your mother tongue, just so that you understand, but if you can write in English but you understand German, then you can tell them to reply in German. Do that. Figure out how the system works as much as you can. The universities are willing to help. They have people there to ask, and they will direct you to the correct people to ask them, and look for scholarships if it's an international one. Look for not only for scholarships, look at BAföG if they're German. It's like OSAP here in Ontario, to support them. One very important thing, you don't have to buy a train ticket. Many of the universities, because the tuition fees in Germany are so low or next to none, the small tuition or a fee that you do pay at the beginning of the year so that they can do all the paperwork, part of it, at least in Marburg, I got a train ticket that lets me go from Marburg to Göttingen for free, and I can take the IC and Regionalbahn. I can go to almost every single province except for the ones very, very east. I can go to North Rhine-Westphalia, I can go to Bayern, I can go to Baden-Württemberg.
Wow, good.
I can travel wherever I want, and most of the universities offer a wonderful train ticket. Really use that to its fullest extent, because I know Heidelberg has, they go all the way into France. Their ticket lets them go to France for a certain distance. depends where you are. I mean, if you're in Freiburg, you can probably get to Switzerland.
Great.